Have you been thinking about getting a super sweet tattoo? But if you have tattoos or have been thinking about getting tattoos, there's a chance that it has either affected your career, your job prospects, or you're hesitating because you think it might. There are some truths and there are some myths to all of these. So could it really hurt your job? Is there data behind it? There is. We're talking about the data, the truth, the numbers. Today, nearly 40% of veterans have at least one, which is more than double non-veterans or people that have never served. More than double. Here's some fun facts. Young enlisted members are the most likely to get their first tattoo while in the military. Policies and regulations in the military have gone through pretty sweeping changes and actually tried to fight the tide, the cultural change is happening in the United States, and it is happening slow and steady by having more stringent rules against tattoos in uniform. So you should at least put some thought into this because it could potentially, the tide is turning, but it hasn't turned all the way. It could potentially affect your post-service prospects. Here's the data behind that. 1/3 of the country still believes that tattoos are unsuitable in the workplace, and 1/3 of hiring managers say that visible tattoos can harm your career. There is no state had a law or policy protecting discrimination for body modification, protecting against discrimination for body modification. The good news is as I mentioned, that the tattoos are becoming more prevalent. The stigma is waning. 22% only of people 18 to 22 think that visible tattoos are bad for work, and that number shrinks on the daily. Alternately, 63% of folks 60 years and older think that it's bad for your career. Darn kids and their tattoos. Thank goodness you're not hiring managers anymore. Go retire. 73% of employers say that it's all good. They say in writing, they brag about this. We are inclusive, we accept it, we don't discriminate. You got tattoos, we love you, come on, work for us. No big deal. Of employers surveyed, corporate, small business, medium size, everywhere in between, nonprofit, 73% say no big deal. If you're thinking about getting that tattoo, whether you're still in the military or planning on getting out, or you're already out, whatever. All right, so here are some places to avoid getting tattoos. First of all, your face. If you need me to tell you why getting a face tattoo is potentially a bad idea for your career, best of luck to you. Your neck. I love a tasteful neck tattoo. When I was in college, the big thing was getting like the sparrow. I love that. My wife is not a fan, so I will not be getting a neck tattoo anytime soon. A full sleeve. Again, I'm going from worst to not as bad. I plan on having that on both arms. You can still cover it up with a suit coat, but in the summer, forearm tattoo. Doesn't harm my career. If I wouldn't have gotten this while I was working with that other company that wanted me to cover up. So upper arm. Again, if you wear sleeveless stuff, that's, I think, more relevant to the females that would maybe wear a sleeveless blouse. I have never worn like sleeveless business attire, though I think there's a market for it. Somebody help me. Copyright pending. Patent pending. Sleeveless business shirt. Lower back tattoo. The only reason why I have this here is because if you're worried about a lower back tattoo having any effect whatsoever on your employment or your job interview, we might need to talk about the place that you're interviewing for or the job that you're looking to get. Again, if you're getting tattoos and you just don't want to have to futz with it for work stuff, you just get it in a place where people can't see. But if you, like so many people, are getting tattoos because you want to share that art and it's an expression of you and your culture and you know what you've been through, you want to share that with more people, have it be visible. These are things you need to consider. Just don't get a face tattoo. Here's the thing. If you have a tattoo anywhere that is offensive, that has a swear word, controversial something that is racist or sexist, 96% of employers say they will not hire you. If I'm hiring somebody and I see something racist or sexist or offensive or a swear word that is anywhere that I can see, there's a 100% chance that I'm not going to hire you. Not just because anybody that sees you would think less of me for employing you, but because it just speaks volumes of your maturity and your judgment. It says a lot. You will never get denied a job for not having tattoos or for not having a tattoo, unless that job is at a tattoo parlor or as a tattoo artist. Okay, fine. But outside of that, no one's going to be like, man, he or she was just great. They didn't have a sweet tribal armband. That really would have drove it home for me. That's literally never happened. So I suggest that if you already have it, or you're planning on getting it and you do get it, you wear it with pride. What do you do if your boss says something about your tattoo, or a potential employer says something about your tattoo? Veterans, I'm gonna put a tool in your toolbox. Service members, I'm gonna put a tool in your toolbox. Are you ready for this? If your boss or potential employer says something about your tattoos or asks you about your tattoos, you say, I got it when I was in the military. It was definitely part of the culture. You put that military stamp on it, they are going to leave you alone. You can also add that, getting tattoo is part of the culture, and, getting this art is part of the healing process for me. Getting body modifications and art, tattooing, can help veterans tell their story. It can help them heal. So if somebody gives you a hard time, don't be afraid to share it. And if they still have an issue, go somewhere else. You don't want to work for them. On the corporate end, the tide is turning. They're starting to brag about their acceptance of folks with tattoos and body art and body modification. But again, as I said earlier, I would take it all with a grain of salt, because people still have their subconscious bias, whether they know it, recognize it, admit it, anything. Everybody has prejudice. Everybody has subconscious bias. Everybody. Even people with tattoos might be prejudiced against people with tattoos. And that's just the reality. You have to read the room. You have to weigh out your options. When you get a tattoo that is visible in business attire, you are taking a calculated risk.